Welcome to Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling.
And today we're at Sundrop University.
Sundrop University, I'll tell you what, Grillology 101 with Sundrop soda. Crisp, citrusy, old-fashioned Sundrop. We are in Shawano, Wisconsin, and you can find Sundrop throughout the entire nation.
Yes, you can.
But nothing like the old-fashioned, bottled, true sugar Sundrop soda. And we're going to take a little tour of their museum and gift shop. So we're going to have a great time, do some wonderful cooking, so stay tuned. The sun's out, and we're going to drop a Sundrop.
And it's going to be a wonderful show.
Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grillin' is brought to you by Modern Home Products, the makers of MHP, Phoenix, and Profire Grills. All Natural Golden Plump Chicken, Cherry Delight, Brew Pub Pizza, Wisconsin Potatoes, Forgotten Fire Winery, Alcam Creamery, Sundrop Soda, Merck's Cheese Spread, Glorious Malone's Fine Sausage, and by Crisp Kraut Sauerkraut.
Welcome back to Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling. I'll tell you what, we are in Shawano, Wisconsin. And whenever you're in the Green Bay, Shawano, Wisconsin area, it's the only place in the United States that you can truthfully get the old-fashioned bottles with the real sugar and the Sundrop soda produced here in the area.
And I mean, people drive from miles and miles around to get this. I mean, they sell it by the cases. It's phenomenal seeing people coming up here and buying cases of the Sundrop.
And it's because of that that our good friend Dan Hartwig actually started the Sundrop University, and he has a museum and gift shop. And you can go online at twigsbeverage.net, twigsbeverage.net. Now, Dan's dad started at Floyd back in the 1950s, started when Sundrop sodas were just being invented nationally.
Right.
And he bought the franchise. And so we're going to do some old-fashioned recipes with old-fashioned soda and do it the old-fashioned way. And who better to be old-fashioned than Mr. Merrill?
I feel old-fashioned. Talking about the old-fashioned way, we always went by the term, if you boil it, you spoil it. If you grill it, you put thrill into it.
I go by it.
All right, it's true. But today we are going to throw back the clock a little bit.
Good.
I'm going to get some fresh Polish here, but you know what? I'm going to parboil the Polish today. And what do you think I'm going to parboil that in?
It sure as heck ain't going to be beer, and it ain't going to be water, and it ain't going to be apple juice.
I got some Sundrop going here.
12 ounces of real Sundrop soda.
And a cast iron skillet right in the back of me. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some flavorizing into this, which I've got some nice onions. Got some garlic, and I want to put a little bay leaf in there.
Sounds good.
That'll really add the flavor. And you can add different flavors, whatever you want to. Anything that you would like. Some people would even put some peppers and things. That'll evaporate just a little bit, a couple more bay leaves. Now I'm going to parboil this for a good 25, 30 minutes or so. And then what I'm going to do is brown them up at the end here, but the flavor is just phenomenal.
The flavor from the Sundrop soda is going to be great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something completely different that a lot of people don't think of. You got to think outside of the box all the time. Isn't that right?
That's exactly right.
You got it.
What's really great is the guy just went in with a growler. You beer drinkers, you know what growlers are. Well, the guy's going to go get his Sundrop soda. He's got his soda filled up with his growler filled up with Sundrop soda. And that's just great. That's what it's all about here in Shawano, Wisconsin.
Old-fashioned, sir.
Old-fashioned as it gets. And speaking of old-fashioned, years ago we used to do brines to preserve cuts of meat. Now you can do brines to add flavor, to add personality, and add moisture to cuts of meat before you put them on the grill. And the first thing you need is moisture when you're doing brines. And you can use water, you can use apple juice, you can do wines, you can do beers. But Sundrop soda is so crisp and fresh and natural that all we're simply going to do is that's going to be our moisture and our sweetener.
Sure, you got everything right there.
Because normally you add moisture and a sweetener. Now all we need is our aromatics, is something to add flavor. So I've got some green pepper, we're going to add some onion in there, and we're going to add a couple of little cloves of garlic. And I'm going to slosh that around a little bit. Now you need a little bit of sodium, and we always use sea salt because sea salt opens up the pores and lets moisture in. So I'm going to add about a quarter cup, maybe an eighth cup, but about a quarter cup of sea salt in there. And this is the fine grade, not the coarse. And I'm just going to give that a little sloshing or two.
Oh, man, I can just picture the flavor.
And we're going to get the citrus going with that sodium and with that flavor. We're going to open up the refrigerator like I did a day and a half ago. I did these for... I bet you these have been on for over 24 hours. I think I've had them on for about 30 hours
Get
now.
out of here, really?
In a nice brine, and you can tell the color changed on them because they've opened up the pores and let the moisture in. So these have been brined, put in the refrigerator, brined for at least 24 hours. And what we're going to do is place these and put them on the countertop. And they have all the flavor, all the moisture in the world. And we're going to take these brine. These are cuts of pork, by the way. This is a pork sirloin chop. And we're going to take these chops and we're going to do a couple things. First of all, you're going to hold that for me.
You got it, sir.
And I'm going to grab my little paper toweling, and all we're simply going to do is, this is the correct way to do it, is get a little bit of the sodium, a little bit of the moisture off from there. So we're going to take and we're going to pat these dry a little bit, get them a little bit drier. We're going to take a little bit of olive oil.
Oh, that'll help brown up a little nice.
Brown them up a little bit, add the nice little flavor to them. So we're going to add a little bit of olive oil. I'm just going to flip these over. You know why? Because I want to do it correctly. And we'll add a little bit more olive oil on this side.
Beautiful.
And then when you're in the market, and I know we're here for Sundrop soda today, but when you're in the market, we've been doing grilling for 35 years.
Oh, long time.
In the last 35 years, we know that cuts of meat are getting more expensive. People are spending more and more time entertaining at home. You deserve the best. And so what we did is we self-produced some wonderful barbecue sauces, spices, and a product called Del Works, which I don't have on me now, but we have 4 lovely barbecue sauces. Number 1, sweet and rich, just like the Midwest likes it. And then we have a hickory, a spicy, and a garlic barbecue sauce. But then we also have Grandma Hazel's, which is a little medley of herbs and spices. Then we have our Grilling Magic and our Seasonal. And if you could do us a favor and always look for those two good-looking guys on the label, you'll appreciate it. And cuts of meat are getting more and more expensive. And why would you want to spend $1 on a barbecue sauce to put on that cut of meat?
Very true. You want some good quantity to go with the quality of the product that you got there. Did that make sense?
Nope,
Quantity?
not at all.
You want some good quantity? How about some good quality?
There you go. You know, it hasn't made sense in 35 years. Why should we start now?
No, it doesn't make any difference.
So we're going to take our cuts of meat, and Meryl's going to open up the grill that he was just working on.
All right. This one here, you got her, sir.
Yeah, and stand back a little bit. I'm just going to throw those on our nice little Phoenix grill. And we're going to get some score marks going. We're going to make a glaze for those a little later on. Meryl, your brats are just about ready to turn over.
They're getting there.
Just about ready. They're getting there, aren't they? They're
Yes,
cooking
they
away
are.
really nice. Those look delicious. And now one more thing before we take our first
Just
break.
one more, ladies and gentlemen.
Sundrop soda is a phenomenal thing. It really, really, really is. And the Midwest love their sweet corn. Now, tradition has it we leave the husk on this gosh darn stuff. We submerge it in water usually.
Yep.
And put it on the grill, and it charged and it steams, and it's good. Now, you know, Meryl can't strip like you used
Oh,
to.
you know, I just slide right into my shirts and everything. I leave the buttons right on there all the time.
The husks are a little hot, so
Oh,
he can't
yeah.
strip the corn like he used to. So I'll give him a hand today, just like you help out Aunt Edna. I'll help out Uncle Merrill today. But honest to God, here's a great way to do it. I discovered this last year, and it is phenomenal. And you got to get some Sundrop soda. You got to get some fresh sweet corn. And all I simply did overnight is submerge this sweet corn in the Sundrop soda. And I cut off the ends a little bit. Here, hold that bag upright, would you there, sir?
Yep.
I cut a little bit of the husk off from there, but we're going to take our green egg, our Komodo-style grill on a good hot heat, and I've got about 5 years of corn to cook up on there, and they're going to steam done just gorgeously in that ceramic pot of that green egg. And so we're going to get those done, and I'll show you how to do some butter with Sundrop soda too near the end of the presentation here. So now we got the sweet corn, we got the pork, we got some fresh Polish.
Today, you know.
You got dang tootery, and who better deserves it than Merrill?
Welcome back to Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling.
They see, so Merrill, when we get inside the museum, we can walk the streets of Old Shawano.
That'd be nice.
We can learn our history in the theater they have.
Okay.
They have a tasting room with samples of soda. And by the way, they've got the Twigs, Heart Twigs, his dad's nickname was Twigs. So they actually have a Twigs name brand for sodas. And they got caramel apple, they got rhueberry, they got blue raspberry, lime, butterscotch, root beer, black cherry, cream, soda, root beer. They got all kinds of great flavors of Twigs name brand, besides the Sundrop on the inside. And then you can see the vintage pot machines and advertisement. You can view the production line and see the vintage delivery truck on the inside. And then there's Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
Dale Earnhardt was a spokesman for Sundrop.
good old deal.
Yep, and then robots.
Those are neat. I've already peeked on those. That's really something really neat to see. I can't wait to go in there. Really
this baby
can't.
just a cooking back here.
All right.
Look at that baby. I love these Phoenix grills.
All right.
Look at that's the chops. That's the sausage going. Those are looking pretty gosh darn good right now. Now to go with that, let's build a little sauerkraut.
Yeah, a little bit of sauerkraut, a little bit of brine. A lot of people would use this as a brine, but this is more of a side dish, or to go ahead and load the old sausages up with. You got to use some good old fresh sauerkraut. You got the Great Lakes kraut here. Get that out of the bag.
Get it right out of that bag.
Get it right out of that
Get
bag.
out of that bag.
I got it.
Squeeze it right out of there.
You got it. I got it. Spread that around a little bit. I want to use some onion. Good old onions.
Yep.
You got to have plenty of onions. And use plenty of onions. Everybody likes onions, you know. I don't care. Some people go, oh, got to watch it on your breath and everything. Got to have plenty of onions. Some good old butter. Butter makes a big difference.
Yep.
And of course, a little Sundrop on there.
And you know, people a lot of times use beer, and it takes away from the flavor, I think, a lot. So nice crisp Sundrop soda, and a nice bottle of crisp Sundrop soda. Now we're going to fold that back up, put it on the grates of the grill on a nice medium heat, and we're going to cook that for about 15, 20, 30 minutes or so. And I've got one done, so we're going to show that in a minute. But before we do that, here is the best gosh darn thing in the world. You talk about Midwest, you talk about cabbage. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a head of cabbage, slice that baby in half, and two quick little slices gets out that hard center core.
Gotcha. Oh.
And we're going to take our cabbage and peel off the first layer, We don't need that on there. Here, just hold on.
I'm glad you put it on top because it's still a little chilly out there, you know? I'm the original Cabbage Patch guy.
We're filming this on Earth Day, by the way, and happy Earth Day to everybody. And my joke of the day was to Dan. Dan Hartwig is the owner of Sundrop here and his lovely family. Believe me, he's got a great family. He's a good family guy, and he loves Mother Earth because every time he goes golfing, he always replaces his divots. But he's a great guy. He really is. So we're going to take the sauerkraut. We're simply going to take the sauerkraut and put it inside that drip pan.
You know, you've mentioned that when you say Midwest, you mention on cabbage. You haven't said it all.
I love cabbage.
I mean, there again, this is the Midwest Grilling Show. This is what it's all about. It really is.
Now, you take some fresh, crisp Sundrop, old-fashioned Sundrop. You add some butter to that gosh darn stuff. You add the same onions and peppers that Merrill did. Wrap it up with aluminum foil, just like we wrap Merrill's up with aluminum foil. Please do that. And, and here's where we're going to end up. I'm going to bring both of these forward.
Bring them both out.
Let me get my...
You know, I could actually just eat this as a regular meal, to be honest with you. I hate to say this, but it really
Oh, me too. Trust me on this one.
Wouldn't you want to be around me for the next couple of days, but look at that.
Here's the sauerkraut.
Oh, man.
And let me get some towing here to show that. Here's the sauerkraut. Now, that's with that Sundrop soda, the butter, the peppers, the onions. And honest to goodness, you put a big wad of that on top of those fresh Polish sausages.
What, a big hoagie bun?
Oh, dang. And the cabbage, honest to goodness, this is our favorite families. And I forgot to do one thing and tell you one thing at home. And I don't have, I do too. On the cabbage with the butter and everything, I put our Grandma Hazel's. Garlic, peppers, onion, fennel, celery, red pepper, green pepper, onions, a little bit of sodium in there. And I put Grandma Hazel's. And you talk about eats and cabbages on the grill, that stuff just falls apart. And I slow cook that, honest to goodness, for a good hour on the grill indirect.
The butter the butter makes such a big difference on this, along with the Sundrop and everything else. But I'll tell you what, it's just phenomenal. I got to go for a little bit more kraut.
Now I promised Dan and his family a bunch of this. We're gonna be right back. We got glaze. Glaze. Hey, look. Look at that. Look at the green egg over here, Mr. Cameraman. Look at that sweet corn with that Sundrop on there. Those babies are just about done. By the time we get back, we're gonna unwrap those babies too. Okay, here we go. You ready?
I'm ready. Okay, welcome back to Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling. And I'll tell you what a feast today. That's the old-fashioned way with some Sundrop soda.
Old-fashioned Midwest.
I like it.
Hey, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna create one more little glaze. I've got the pork cooking behind. Let's take a look at this sweet corn.
Yeah.
Doesn't that look delicious? Now that was with the Sundrop soda. And let's take a little gander. This is always hard to do on TV because you never know. But the sweet corn turned out delicious. and it's got the wonderful little flavor of the Sundrop soda on the inside. So we submerge the sweet corn in Sundrop soda, and that's a great way to do it, to butter it up and season it up the way you like it now. Okay, here's what we're gonna do.
Good.
Now we've created the hot mustards before, and
Yes, we have.
I'm gonna do a puddle, and usually we use usually we use too much
Okay.
moisture and nothing
Right,
turns out
okay,
properly
I
on
get you. I
TV.
understand what you're saying about
So
it.
we're going to do a little bit at a time. And this is ground mustard and Sundrop. Ground mustard and Sundrop. Now this by itself, and you see how little bit of a puddle I made?
Yep.
Honest to goodness, it does not take much liquid to make a little paste. But what we want is we want a sweet hot glaze. And so what I've created right there, and I'll show you in a minute, is we have the hottest mustard that you can possibly want to do on top of hot dogs or brats. We made it with Sundrop and ground mustard. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to take peach preserve or apricot or orange marmalade, and this happens to be peach preserves.
Okay.
Did you ever do that with a knife? If you're getting old like Meryl and I, and you can't get the covers, and you're not going to use the jar again because it does release air in there, release a little air and it pops right open.
Oh,
And at
well,
our age, that feels good.
I think that pops open at our age. I'll tell you. Okay.
Little-
I like this idea.
a
I really do.
little peach preserve in with that hot mustard, and honest to goodness,
Oh man.
we're going to create a sweet glaze. Look at that. You know, I was kind of hoping this would turn out.
Obvious it is. You know, a lot of people don't realize that on the whole thing on the dry mustard. It's just dry mustard that they use on it. But I could just. Oh,
You got to taste it, right?
I know. I got to. Got to just have the pizzazz.
Oh, it's wonderful. Oh, there it is. See, it just takes a little longer.
It's a nice little kick to it. Whoa. It does. It takes. Wow.
So now we have those wonderful pork steaks that we brined with Sundrop. We're going to put that hot mustard glaze with a peach preserve and Sundrop soda in top of it. And we're going to make a nice little glaze with that. And I can picture using this on wild game. I can do it on
Chicken breast.
on chicken breasts, on just about anything in the world. So that's a great way to do that little glaze right there.
I love that.
We've got the sweet corn going. We've got, I got to show you.
Good.
We got some wonderful little, these are actually chicken patties, and that's what we're going to serve the crew here at Sundrop at Shawnee, Wisconsin at Twigs Beverage. And if I didn't mention again, you got to go online at twigsbeverage.net, twigsbeverage.net, and it's just a crisp old-fashioned soda. You can like them on Facebook, and they have a Facebook page for their museum, and you can learn all about it.
Wait till you see the museum. You're going to be at all. I mean, you
I
really
know.
are.
We
It's
gave them a little
unbelievable.
tease of it.
I know.
Hey, along with our bratwurst that we're cooking and the chicken patties that we're cooking today, we do have a product called Dough Works.
Still works.
Dough Works is homemade ketchup, sun-ripe tomato. It's got Bear Creek sauerkraut, which is only about 25 minutes from here is Bear Creek, Wisconsin, and they make the 85% of the United States sauerkraut. So it's got homemade ketchup, sauerkraut, onions, and horseradish mustard in there. So it's a great little condiment to serve with. So we're going to kind of round things up a little bit. We're going to close her out. We're going to go feed the crew.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready.
You ready to bottle
I'm
some
ready
soda?
to bottle some soda.
Good deal. I'm ready to taste some of that tasting. Welcome back to Mad Dog and Meryl's Midwest Grill. And hey, next time you're in Shawnee, Wisconsin, please visit Sundrop University, the museum and gift shop for Sundrop. It's a phenomenal thing. It really is. Dan put a lot of time and effort into it. And folks, here's to you folks for always watching Mad Dog and Meryl's Midwest Grilling. Prost, Meryl.
You got it, bud.
Prost.
Mad Dog and Meryl's Midwest Grillin' is a production of Lashbro Visual Communications.